welcome to the news at 8 in our top stories this half hour. Students of the President Jammeh Islamic University joined other volunteers in Kanilai to show solidarity with the Gambian leader in his farming activities this weekend. The Minister of Lands and Regional Government, MOMODOU Akibayo, tours the community infrastructure and livelihood improvement project sites in the country. A year of political roller coaster for Greece as the cash-strapped country holds its 5th election in 6 years. Plus, desperation in Croatia as refugees do their utmost to get further north and west to Europe. These and other stories coming ahead this half hour. I am MOMODOU NJIE. Students of the President Jammeh Islamic University were among numerous volunteers who traveled to Kanilai to show solidarity with the Gambian leader in his farming activities this weekend. They joined dozens of other volunteers from Batterboot Kantora in the weeding of one of the President's groundnut farms. MOMODOU Jallo reports.
And students of President Jammeh Islamic University were among the hundreds of volunteers in Kanilai undertaking weeding of one of the Gambian leader's groundnut farms. They were led by Ustaz Mohamed Ka, the Director of Public Relations Department, who explained that his institution, like many others, sees the President's initiative as very important for the socio-economic development of the Gambia and would therefore work wholeheartedly to ensure that the vision is realized.
This is very important because it will be a very sound and sound example for the others. Yes, they have to try by all means to copy this noble president. Yes.
Carr attributed the low turnout of the students to the holiday period, which has seen many of them on vacation, nonetheless undertaking farming activities. The community of Batterboot Kantora were also at hand to show solidarity with the president. The turnout, though modest, did not dampen the mood of the volunteers who expressed gratitude to Professor Jammeh for his support to their community. Landin Sanyan said they were inspired by the president to go back to the land to produce their own food, as this was the surest way to end poverty and dependence on aid. Isaac Jaju, on the other hand, gave the assurance that they will always come when called upon, as such work will only strengthen the president's humanitarian interventions which transcends regions and sectors. She also thanked the volunteers for responding to their calls and for their hard work as well as support to the Kanilai family farms. MOMODOU Jallo, GRTS News.
The Minister of Lands and Regional Government, MOMODOU Akibayo, is touring the community infrastructure and livelihood improvement project SILIP sites in the country. The Community Infrastructure and Livelihood Improvement Project is funded by the government of the Gambia through the Ministry of Land and Regional Government and implemented by GAMWorks. Rohibite traveled with them and she now reports.
The Community Infrastructure and Livelihood Improvement Project, SLIP, is a project funded by the government of the Gambia through the Ministry of Lands and Regional Government and implemented by GAMWorks. The project is reported to have covered 200 community-driven projects, 24 cross-community projects, and several other livelihood projects, all geared towards improving the livelihood of Gambians. The minister's tour of the project sites was meant to gauge the work done so far. The minister in NJIE first point of call was Barra Market New Complex, which cost $2.9 million, of which the SLIP project contributed 95%, while the Karawan Area Council contributed 5%.
SLIP project is like a community demand driven. So you have to work with the beneficiary for the beneficiary to identify on their own what their priority areas are. Unlike formally when you do like top-down implementation, you identify and you come and do it for the beneficiary without the beneficiary coming out with what is actually the required project. But like councils have their like strategic plans and they have priority projects, so we had to work with them and through their guidance running through their strategic plans, they identify the top priority.
So it will reduce the burden people crossing to Banjul every time to go and get goods. If we have these big stores here, you see many businesses can have branches.
The new market complex, which consists of stores, is uploaded by many, as was highlighted by speakers like Alassana Keita, Director of Planning, Karawan Area Council, Sidi Toure, CEO, Karawan Area Council, the Alcalo of Barra, Babukar Fai, as well as women of the community. They, however, urged for more support for maintenance of the market roads. There, the Director General of GAMWorks, under the guidance of the Minister of Lands and Regional Government, disclosed a proposed infrastructural development project secured by government worth of $13 million. As
the Honorable Minister said, under the leadership of His Excellency, the President, Chief Professor Al-Hajj Dr. Jammeh, and under the auspices of the Honorable Minister of Lands and Regional Government, the government of the Gambia has secured funding for a new rural infrastructure project, which is also going to be under the Minister of Lands and Regional Government, which is worth $13 million, which again will be used for infrastructural development. So we really want to use this opportunity again to thank His Excellency the President and also the Honorable Minister of Lands and Rural Government for their foresight and their vision in bringing more infrastructure development in the Gambia. I think it's something that we all as Gambians can look forward to in the coming months for this new project.
The minister and delegation later headed for Amdalai, where a market and a garage are under construction worth $6.5 million. There, the SLEEP project was praised by people for being community-driven as they identified their projects according to their needs and implemented by them. The land where the garage and the stores for the market are being constructed, according to NJIE Manka, the president of the Amdalai Transport Union, was acquired as their contribution towards the project. At Kanuma, Minister Bayo was welcomed by a large crowd from the community, where he handed over a multipurpose hall built for the community through the SLEEP project. The Deputy Governor of North Bank Region, Mustafa Saidi, along with the village VDC, Alcalos, and other community members all expressed delight for coming to their aid and hailed the government through His Excellency the President for the relentless support accorded to them. They, however, called for additional change from the people in order to maintain the facility. At Benending, Minister Bayo handed over a borehole which was 95% funded by the SLEEP project and the 5% by council. Benending, as the members of the village, especially the women, highlighted, grappled with water shortage, but thanks to SLEEP, it is now history. Their officials of the SLEEP project, the Director of GAMWorks and the Minister of Lands and Regional Government all urged the community to strategize sustainable mechanisms of the borehole before officially handing it over to the beneficiary community. As the SLEEP project is community-driven, the people of Badibu Kintekunda did call for urgent need of a garden, and with the intervention of the project, they benefited with a 546 square meter plot, 2 wells, a toilet, and a resting area. This, as officials and the people of the community said, will help in contributing to the Vision 2016 food self-sufficiency drive. The first day of the tour ended at Kanchang Health Post. Kanchang being a hard-to-reach community, the need for a health post was the priority, and this was realized with the aid of SLEEP. But however, the community is calling for support to equip the place for it to start operation. The Lands and Regional Government Minister tour of SLEEP project sites continued across the provinces. Rohi Bitey, GRTS.
Meanwhile, as Minister MOMODOU Akibayo's tour of SLEEP sites unfolds, those benefiting from the intervention have been speaking positively about the project. According to Rohi Bitey, the message is one of commendation.
The Farafenni New Market, situated along this bustling town's highway, has now been given a facelift. The Minister of Lands and Regional Government, MOMODOU Akibayo, was impressed with what he saw in a second-day tour of SLEEP project sites. Panchang in Upper Salum of CRR benefited with a multipurpose center, which is currently near completion. Projects are many, but one like SLEEP is hard to come by as it comes directly to the beneficiaries. Those were the words of Al-Haji Malik May, Chief of Upper Salum. The community of Panchang, especially the women, were all full of praise for the SLEEP project. The women had also benefited from a SIP fattening program that has empowered them overcome problems associated with the Tobaski phase, thanks to SLEEP and the government through His Excellency the President. The tour also took the minister and entourage to Nyanga Bantang Market Canteens, Fidaus Health Post, Dingarai Rehabilitated Maternal and Child Care Center, along with the borehole, Uwasu Multipurpose Center, which is under construction, as well as Janjambure Guest House and Multipurpose Center, which is near finished. All those sites are implemented under the SLEEP project, and the minister was accompanied to the sites by the governor of CRR, Omar Khan, who also spoke at length at all destinations, expressing joy and satisfaction with SLEEP and hailed government for the foresight. That was followed by a visit to the YBK, where the community also benefited with a borehole, which is reported to have good water pressure covering the whole community. The $2.5 million car park of Bansang with stores and sales was also visited before the minister headed for URR. In In the Upper River region, Minister Bayo also visited Sami Kuta, a hard-to-reach village. It was the first time a minister visited that village. As a result, it was a moment of joy for the community. Minister Bayo, after commissioning the borehole in a garden with the community, assured them that His Excellency the President have them at heart. He therefore urged them to rally and support the President in his desire to move the country forward. The minister also visited the Waliba Cross Community Water Project and Damfa Kunda, a community that is well known for its intervention in agriculture, especially in rice production. As a beneficiary of the Slip Livelihood Project, the community was provided with a power tiller. It was a long night at Damfa Kunda, where officials all expressed solidarity with the President and gratitude for benefiting from the project. The minister and team also visited other infrastructural developments, among them the summer market in LRR, Breng Market Extension and Guest House, which is under construction, as well as the Islamic Institute of Keneba, who benefited with the 4 classroom structures. Their officials pledged to support and equip the structure. However, its VDC is calling for more support to help this Islamic Institute, which is reported to be over 30 years old. Wahibi say, GRTS.
The Rotary Club of Banjul Saturday endorsed the nomination of 7 new members as Rotarians. The new members who joined the Selfless Humanitarian Service Club were formally inducted by Rotarian President Fatuba at a ceremony held in Sukuta, West Coast region. Ibrahim Jallo was there for GRTS, and this is his report.
The Rotary Club of Banjul continues to grow from strength to strength in its drive to make communities and by extension the world a better place for all. The latest development is the induction of 7 new members who on Saturday joined the long list of Rotarians of the club. The new members of different nationalities, including Chief Justice of the Gambia, who has accepted the challenge and vowed to undertake the ideal of Rotarians. Before formally inducting the incoming Rotarians, the president of the Rotary Club of Banjul, Fatuba, commended the new members for joining the community service initiative. She, however, reiterated that Rotary is not a political or religious setup, but a service club involving business and professional people who are ready to be a gift to the world, as enshrined by the current team of Rotary International.
We welcome you not only for the fine fellowship that we shall share, but also for the strong arm all of you will provide that will help us to carry out our many projects to make our community, our country, and the world a better place to live. Rotary is not a political organization, but all Rotarians are vitally concerned with everything pertaining to good citizenship and the election of good men and women to public office.
The new Rotarians were full of joy following the acceptance of their membership bid by the club, paving the way for them to join the prestigious humanitarian service organization in the world. In his word of thanks, Rotarian for the NJIE commended President Fatuba and other senior Rotarians for the achievements registered, citing the incoming new membership as a clear testimony. Jati also enjoined his fellow Rotarians to remain committed to their pledges.
We also wish to express our sincere gratitude to the leadership of the Rotary Club of Banjul, the President and senior Rotarians for inviting the 8 of us introduced here today, and for having thought us fit to join the most prestigious humanitarian service organization in the world. For the inductees, including myself, we must reinforce in our subconscious minds that the heart of Rotary is our membership.
The colorful ceremony was punctuated by musical performances, entertaining the participants overnight. Ibrahim Jallo, GRTS News.
The Gambia Horticultural Enterprise has held a review meeting on the 2015 mango season with beneficiaries of the Mango Outgrow Scheme at the Gambia Horticultural Enterprise Farm in Kembuja Village, West Coast Region. As Janke Tura reports, the day-long convergence formed part of efforts to enhance the implementation of a horticultural development program, as well as develop the establishment of a commercial mango farming system in order to produce a consistent volume and quality in new and existing mango varieties.
The review meeting, which was attended by local farming entities and individual farmers, was convened to take stock of the gains registered by the Mango Outgrower Scheme in the year 2015 and the expectation for the coming year 2016, which will also mark the end of the project. The project that was revealed entails the growing, harvesting, processing and exportation of mangoes both locally and internationally. The meeting disclosed that the Gambia Horticultural Enterprise was able to realize its target in the 2015 implementation phase. Director Cisse also indicated that the implementation of the mango art grower scheme also catered for the elimination of middlemen who have been in the existence over the years. Mango growers Farmer Sambu and Haruna Mane, both of whom are beneficiaries of the project, expressed gratitude to the implementation of this project, recalling that before the coming of this initiative, they had to contend with a lot of spoilage in their mangoes. The duo, who is now well placed to run their businesses courtesies of the project, spoke of their happiness with their newfound knowledge following their training. Despite such a development, Haruna maintained that they need more knowledge on the harvesting of mangoes to avoid further spoilage, stating this will help create a good market for their products abroad. Later on the event, a reward of $20,000 was given to farmers or entities who harvested the highest quality and quantity of mangoes. Dasilame, as winners of the first prize, received a check for $10,000, followed by Cambridge with $5,000. Farmer Sambu, an individual mango farmer, went home with a check for $2,000, while Sehumane and Lamin Sanyang jointly received a check for $1,500. These rewards are said to serve as a motivational package to the farmers to grow and harvest mangoes of great quantity and quality, in line with the mantra of the Gambia Horticultural Enterprises, which is quality first. Janke Ture, GRTS.
Pandemonium in Croatia as desperate migrants do their utmost to get further north and west to Europe, with news that Hungary has reopened its border. We'll bring you more on that after this break. Don't go away. Welcome back. Desperation in Croatia as people do their utmost to get further north and west to Europe. The government there said it could not cope with the numbers entering its borders. But now things have changed, with news that Hungary has reopened its border, leading to pressure on all forms of transport in that country with the aim of traveling to Western Europe. More in this DWTV report.
Bitterly familiar scenes from Croatia's border towns on Sunday. There was pandemonium as migrants and refugees struggled to take their place on a train out of Tovarnik. Some made it onto the crowded train, but others did not. There was yet more anger when police declared the train full. People are desperate to get out of Tovarnik. The train has now departed. It's one of many that's headed north in recent days, helping thousands to escape desperate conditions in Croatia. Buses at Bereman, on Croatia's border with Hungary. The Orban government has been ferrying refugees on from here. It has organised the transport grudgingly. At a nearby border crossing, there's heavy security. Hungary has deployed the army in response to the migrants. And soldiers are fortifying Hungary's border with Croatia. But so far, that hasn't stopped the migrants from entering, because Croatia has forced its neighbours to take the refugees, sending convoys of migrants across Hungary's border. The final destination of the trains is in Hungary's north. This town is just south of the border with Austria. Hundreds of people have been disembarking at the station there and then walking across the border. Volunteers are waiting for them on the other side, in the Austrian town of Nikolsdorf. They've been coping with thousands of arrivals today. From here, many will head on to Germany. They hope this moment marks the end of a perilous journey and the start of a new life.
This year has been a political roller coaster for one country in Europe. Greece has spent the best part of the year trying to reconcile its debt crisis with Europe plus 5 elections in 6 years. DWTV looks back at the twists and turns, many of which carries the signature of Alexis Tsipras.
There were high hopes for Alexis Tsipras when he was elected in January. High expectations fueled by some very big promises. Greece will see the opening of a new chapter. The catastrophic austerity is now a thing of the past, along with 5 years of humiliation and painful cuts. Tsipras's left-leaning government refused to work with the Troika of the European Commission, the European Central Bank and the IMF, in violation of multilateral treaties. Tsipras is cheered for his tough position against the moneylenders. The differences make themselves felt at the first meeting between the Greek finance minister and his German counterpart in Berlin. Despite full and frank discussions, we still haven't agreed on what we need to do. To put it diplomatically,
we agree to disagree. As Dr. Schäuble said, we didn't reach an agreement. It was never on the cards that we would. We didn't even agree to disagree from where I'm standing.
By summer, Greece is staring bankruptcy in the face. Banks limit withdrawals to €60 a day. For the first time, the country fails to make a $1 billion loan repayment. The government decided not to make a last-minute deal with the creditors. It called a referendum on July the 5th to decide whether or not to support the government's position. The citizens backed Tsipras, but it turned out to be a Pyrrhic victory. Tsipras went on to make a complete U-turn. He put forward a package of severe spending cuts. Many Greeks felt betrayed by the man who had once been a beacon of hope. On the 12th of July, the German finance minister raised the prospect of Greece temporarily leaving the Eurozone. Agreement wasn't reached until the early hours of the morning. Greece did receive a third bailout, worth €85 billion. A short time later, the Greek parliament approves the austerity measures. Tsipras had to rely on the support of opposition politicians. Many members of his own party refused to vote for his change of course. The result was the year's second round of elections.
We now take our second break. Stay tuned.
Have you ever wanted to be on television? Do you think this is what you really wanted to do? A newsreader, a TV personality, local newsreader. Here is your chance to become a TV presenter.
Welcome back. We now join the Central Forecast Office for the weather outlook. We might bring you the weather outlook at 10 o'clock news. And before we take leave of you, a recap of the day's main stories. Students of the President Jammeh Islamic University have joined other volunteers in Kanilai to show solidarity with the Gambian leader in his farming activities this weekend. The Minister of Lands and Regional Government, MOMODOU Akibayo, has been touring the community infrastructure and livelihood improvement project sites in the country. A year of political roller coaster for Greece as the country held its fifth election in as many as 6 years. Plus, desperation in Croatia as refugees did their utmost to get further north and west to Europe. Well, that was all in this edition of News at 8. Thanks for the pleasure of your company. Join us at 10 o'clock again for more news.